What's up, y'all? It's Jeff Lacey Jr. from AbariTV.net, and more developments have come from the Sandra Bland story. Now, Sandra Bland, if you don't know, from Prairie View, Texas, she was pulled over in at a stop. She was pulled over for a lane violation, and through everything that went on, Sandra Bland was sent to jail. She was sent to jail, and in a 90-minute period where she was left alone in her jail cell, the officers came back and found her unresponsive. They said she had committed suicide. Now, in between the time she was taken to jail and just the stop and the traffic stop and all together, there was a lot of things that went wrong. A lot of things that really shouldn't have happened. First of all, Sandra Bland should have never went to jail. She was pulled over for a traffic violation, saying with a lane switch. Said basically she switched lanes without using her blinkers. Okay, she was pulled over by the officer in Prairie View, Texas, and she had a cigarette. She was smoking a cigarette, and the officer asked her to put her cigarette out, and Miss Bland was like, she just basically said no. You're stopping me for a traffic violation, or whatever, lane violation, whatever. Just give me my ticket and go about my day. And the officer took offense to that. There was a dispute, and then that led to an altercation. Now, the dash cam for his security, from his police car, will be released today. Now, all these reports are coming from CNN, by the way. They've had a reporter that talked to the DA that's actually seen the video that hasn't been released to the public yet. But this case is so serious because it's even being looked at as a murder investigation by the DA in Texas. And this is why. First of all, when the altercation took place, Ms. Bland said, "No, I'm not putting out my cigarette." And the officer proceeded to open her car door and point his taser at her, and to force her to comply to his demands. And so when she got out the car, a physical altercation ensued, and that was not caught on camera. But has been released to the public is the cell phone video by a witness, by a bystander, that isn't the best quality, but you can see that Miss Bland is on the ground, saying her head had been hit on the ground. She had basically been tackled, put on the ground by force, and that the police was it was just police brutality in the responses that she was given, caught on video by the cell phone, by the bystander. Now, this kind of goes back to, I made a video a month or two back about, can America protect black people? And I did that, and that video actually was poorly executed because I did a lot of yelling and screaming, and it wasn't my best work. But I was so frustrated. This had come right after the Charleston incident, the shooting of the 9 people in Charleston. I recently visited Charleston, and that is just a really great place to go to, and you can feel the aura. But when I did that video, I was so upset because I felt like if we can't protect if we can't trust our police officers whose sole job is to serve and protect, how can we go about breaking the cycle that is whatever racism is or anything that goes throughout this country? Just if the police are continuing to use their authority, their power to just demonize, just to belittle our people, how are we supposed to go throughout this life and be civil with each other? We can't even trust our police officers. These are, like I said, their job is to serve and protect. But us as a people, this is Texas, the same state that happened with the young lady when she was tackled by the police officer. A young lady by the police officer. I forgot what part of Texas, but it was at the swimming party, the pool party. I don't know if you guys recall that story. But the pool party, there was the blacks, there was whites. All the blacks were made sit on the ground. All the whites were let go freely, and the one young lady was body slammed, pulled down by her hair, by a police officer with his knees in her back. And that's kind of, I'm not for sure what happened in the altercation with Sandra Bland. And what the bigger part of this story is because this young lady is now dead. Once again, my condolences go out to the Bland family. And the Bland family said there's no way Sandra Bland killed herself. There's no way that this bright young lady, who had just moved to Texas, by the way, from Chicago, to be an ambassador at a university, at one of the universities in Prairie View, Texas. There's no way. They said that she was going to kill herself. This lady was full of life. This 28-year-old lady was full of life, Sandra Bland. And the simple fact that DA is pursuing this as a murder investigation lets us know that there's something happening here. And in America, there's something happening where all these incidents with blacks, this only happens, these incidents mainly happen to black people. You have black people being it's like they're being executed. We're being executed by these police officers. So how do you expect us to react when we see one of you all? Like when we see a police officer, you wonder why we do the things we do, and all these protests and all these things happen, and all the hostility is towards police officers. We have songs that say "F the police" and things like that because of this. I mean, you go into police custody and you end up dead. I mean, it's not the first time this has happened. This same thing happened to Walter Scott in South Carolina. And all these police officers using this brute force with these women or these young men. I mean, that, me being a black man in America, that doesn't make that, I don't feel safe. You don't feel safe, and it's like, and like I said, how can we expect to be protected in this land that, I mean, that what we call the nation. Our nation is supposed to be, the land of the free, the home of the brave. There's no bravery in this. This is coward. I mean, this is a coward doing this to this young woman, and now this young woman is gone. She has been taken from her family, and so what do? I mean, what can be done, America? What can you do? Once again, my name is Jeff Licey Jr. from HabariTV.net. Thank you for continuing to watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. God bless. Peace.